There are many heroes in history. Most of them left something behind, a speech, a diary, a sentence that tells us who they were. But this man left nothing like that. No interviews, no memoirs, no famous last words. His name was Frank Foley, and for a long time, history barely noticed him. But in this story, there are no words to quote, only actions and silence. That silence was not an accident. In the early 1930s, Berlin was still a city of order. The war had not yet begun, but something else had. Laws were changing, rights were disappearing, and for Jewish families the future was closing in quietly. No explosions, no battles, just paperwork. For those who needed to escape, there was only one way out: a visa. Without it, there would be no train, no ship, no future. A single stamp could mean life, or the end of it. Frank Foley did not look like a hero. Officially, he was only a passport control officer at the British Embassy. He was not a diplomat. He had no diplomatic immunity. If he was discovered helping refugees, no law would protect him. His desk was ordinary, wooden, covered in files. But it may have been one of the most dangerous desks in Berlin. Every document he touched carried risk. Every decision could end his life. The rules were clear, and the consequences of following them were clearer. If the rules were obeyed, people would be sent back. If they were sent back, many would die. Frank Foley did not argue. He did not announce his intentions. He simply chose to act. He worked late at night. He processed documents quietly. He kept records to a minimum. He did not explain himself. He did not justify his choices. He stamped papers. And people disappeared, not into camps, but into safety. Sometimes paperwork was not enough. Foley entered places he was never meant to enter. Prisons, camps. He escorted people himself. He hid others in his own apartment. If discovered, the punishment would have been immediate. There were no witnesses, no applause, no backup plan. If something went wrong, he would face the consequences alone. And still he continued. Years later, survivors would try to describe him. They did not remember speeches. They did not remember promises. They remembered calm, efficiency, and a man who never made them feel like a burden. Colleagues described him the same way. Quiet, responsible, uninterested in recognition. He did what needed to be done, and then he moved on. When the war ended, Frank Foley returned to ordinary life. He did not write a book. He did not give interviews. To the outside world, nothing remarkable had happened. Even his family did not know what he had done. The records were sealed. The story remained unfinished. The silence continued by choice. Decades later, sealed files were opened. Names appeared. Numbers grew. Only then did the scale of his actions become clear. He was honored after his death, named among the righteous. But the man himself was not there to see it. Frank Foley's silence was not fear. It was restraint. He did not need words to justify what he had done. He left no quotes behind, no recordings, no speeches. But he left people. Thousands of lives continued because of his silence. Some people leave behind words. Others leave behind people. Frank Foley belonged to the second kind. He never explained himself. He never spoke for history. And yet, history speaks for him.